Oh, we're live.
Good morning.
When did that happen? Hello. Oh, I should count. Now we're not counting down today. We'll just do a nice meandering intro while people gather around the fire that is the live Disney Walk and Talk with Jeremiah. Hello, everybody. Welcome to a live Walk and Talk with Jeremiah Good. We are live at Epcot today. We're going to take a look at all the construction going on around the park and get you some updates. We're going to talk some Disney news. We're going to answer questions. We're live, so if you have any questions, please feel free to put them in the comments. We will do our best. Don't forget to tag your friends. Let them know we're live right now. Like our stream, subscribe, all that good stuff. With that, oh, my name is Juby. I'm the guy in the headquarters. I'm not the one you don't care about. Live right now at Epcot is the one, the only Jeremiah Good.
Yay!
So, wow, we haven't even gotten in the park yet, and we're already seeing some pretty new stuff. What's this, Jeremiah?
Well, this has been an ongoing project with the new entrance area, with the new bag check, the tram drop-off area. They gave some color to the ticket booths. Yes, they still have ticket booths here. And they have a rainbow. It starts, let me see if I can, we'll start all the way down on the other side. And it starts with white, yellow, green, a darker shade of green, and then it goes into greenish blue, light blue, dark blue. And then we move into the other color spectrums: blue, purple, lavender, blue dilly dilly, pinks, and then it looks like it ends down on the other end with white. So these colors have been up for a little while, but they also did just put the classic Epcot. Are we calling this the Epcot worm now? Can we call it that, since it's not the meatball anymore? It's the worm.
You can do that.
Okay. So yeah, they have the logo on there, so everything's great. While we're focused on this, let's talk about that breaking news, Doobie.
Sure. So there was breaking news today, Jeremiah, regarding park hopping at Walt Disney World, which is really, really exciting. Jeremiah, you want to talk about it?
Sure, Doobie. So starting January 1st, guests who have active tickets can park hop in between, well, the four parks. We're probably looking more just about three of them, because one of the things that does apply is the capacity issues, and that doesn't change with the park hopping. So that means Disney's Hollywood Studios, which has been available, during midweek, but not on the weekends, that kind of stuff, probably won't be available for park hopping later in the day. But in order to park hop, what you have to do is you have to have an active theme park reservation, just like hopefully we have right now as I'm going in Epcot. It's green! So you can come into the park and you can start your day as early as park opening. And then at 2 o'clock, you can actually park hop. And that is, you don't need a reservation to choose which park you're going to hop to. They didn't say anything about limiting it to just one park. So who knows if you can go into Magic Kingdom and then jump over to here to Epcot, then go to Animal Kingdom, and then end your day at Disney's Hollywood Studios. That'd be very, very lot of travel. Very lot of travel. Yep. I'm a professional.
And they did say that it typically starts at 2 o'clock. So I don't know if that could vary either way, depending on the attendance at that given park. But yeah, most importantly, it does not circumvent any capacity restrictions. So if the park's full, it's still going to be full. But interesting that a reservation is not required at the second park. And was there any mention of a particular ticket being required? If you have just a regular, Jeremiah, can you hear me?
Yes.
Any mention of like having to buy a park hopper ticket, or are all tickets park hoppers now?
The wording was very, I don't want to say vague. It says, tickets purchased and annual passes. So that usually does mean that you have to have the park hopper.
Yeah. It does say tickets with park hopper benefits. So.
Okay.
Right, so that's the news. Park hopping come back to Disney World January 1st. Very exciting. That's one of the weird things about visiting Disney right now is you are in one park for the day, and for us regulars, that's just not how we do Disney. So pretty cool. As we continue our construction update, Jeremiah, it looks like for the first time there's a fountain in front of the Spaceship Earth.
Yes, this was recently added in 1982. So when the Millennium Celebration happened in 1999, they removed the pylons that were in front of Spaceship Earth that were a part of the fountain when they put in the Leave a Legacy. So this is one of the things that a project that's been going on for a while is repaving and redoing the entranceway. And the fact that those pylons have returned are definitely a welcome sight. So as we walk in, we run into Spaceship Earth. Hopefully not literally, that would hurt.
We're now entering the coldest part of all of Florida.
Sorry, what color is that, Doobie?
That is a white Spaceship Earth. We all know that.
Hey, there is no sun on some of these. Like,
That is such a cool picture, just like that.
I will get that for you when we leave. So we have Christmas. Shall we do our favorite game, Doobie, and find out the expiration date on the Goofy Candy Sour Gummy Worms?
No, we won't.
But they are still doing the buy one, get one. Ooh, here's a... Go on.
I was just looking at those plush back there, the Sully and...
Oh, the big-eyed?
Yeah, those are interesting. Kind of cute.
So it does look like they're having a plush sale. The Dream Friends, also known previously as Pillow Pals, are $30 each when you buy two. So you're saving $4.99 each.
Or $10.
The plush characters, $22 each when you buy two. I hope that does account for that, because that little figment maybe I'd rank that as kind of expensive for that much.
He needs to have a sweatshirt on, a Christmas sweatshirt.
I could not agree more. Sadly, we cannot go on that ride. I know that.
Because we'll lose signal for those who might think something else.
Yeah, for those of you who missed it, we did go on Rise of the Resistance last, whatever day that was.
Dun, 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 dun. I was doing Indiana Jones.
Does this feel out of place to you too, Doobie?
I am not sure why that's there, but Indiana Jones is never out of place.
I'm sure it's there because the Indiana Jones store over at Disney's Hollywood Studios hasn't reopened. So they put it in a place where all guests can see.
So as we continue our construction tour, passing Spaceship Earth on the right, and the exit to Spaceship Earth, Project Tomorrow, that's been closed for quite a while, right?
Correct. The only thing that is open there is the large globe where you see your pictures pop up, and you can see your funny pictures or your serious pictures around the side of it. But all the Project Tomorrow games have been closed. They actually never reopened when the park reopened.
So for those who haven't been to Epcot in a while, there are walls all around Future World, really changing the flow of traffic here, right, Jeremiah?
Oh yes, this would be my normal path in. In the pre-wall days, directly ahead of us would have been Penn Central, and this would have been the Electric Umbrella. And then back there where there's a large empty space would have been Club Cool.
Where the cool kids go.
Yeah, you can't walk through that way. They instead have opened up a brand new pathway Guest relations is still in the same place. But then we head over here where they kind of just created new walls. And you walk back around the side of guest relations. And right next to the Universe of Energy, or as it is now going to be known, Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Rewind.
Galaxy, a family coaster.
Yes. And for those of you who did not see this, D23 as part of their Destination D, this is available to all guests. There were just a few that were only available to gold members. They did an Epcot update, and they showed that they are starting the push-pull testing of vehicles in, well, not in that building, in the large blue building that we can't see right now.
So this is the old Universe of Energy building right here?
Correct.
It appears to have been painted, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, it did have, the color schemes have changed over the years, but is now just black and brown.
Wow, it's kind of imposing now.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm sure that when everything happens, we'll understand why the color scheme went black and brown. But to me, the color scheme right now is kind of just bland, which could be exactly why it is that way, because they don't want guests going, "Hey, what's that building?"
And then there appears to be some level of incompletion over here.
Yes, what this building will be, the former attraction building. Let me stop and turn. So this used to be the entrance of the Ellen attraction, Universe of Energy. And everything was inside this building. The dinosaurs, the Alex Trebek game, all of that. And then what it is now is going to be the queue and load area for the new family coaster. But that big blue building in the back, can you see that, Doobie? I know it's kind of...
Yeah, we can see it. We can see it.
Okay. That's the coaster building. So what this will be the entrance, and you'll walk in, and whatever fun will happen in there, we don't know yet.
And we'll get an even better look at the blue building, the show building, as we get around World Showcase, because it's quite visible.
Yeah.
Money at 30 finds it funny that you call it the Alex Trebek game, but I think it should be renamed that in honor of him.
Yes. If we say the word, I think we have to copyright and pay some type of royalties.
Yeah, I don't think so. So there is Wonders of Life.
Yes, which will be the Play Pavilion. That was something that wasn't addressed in any of the announcements or conversations in the past week. We do know that it's still happening because it still appears on all the billboards out here. But that'll be a fun interactive area where guests can take lots of pictures and selfies, and that kind of stuff.
Well, that's a really good view of the Cosmic Rewind.
Yeah, the corrugated metal up there was where they had the photovoltaic panels. Hey, look at me. I remember that. That used to assist in running the attraction. Again, we don't know if they are going to put any type of solar panels up there when it reopens or not, but hopefully they do. So it, at least keeps a little bit of a tie to the past.
Cool. So that's a good look at what's going on over at Play Pavilion and Cosmic Rewind, Guardians of the Galaxy. And we make our way towards the rest of Epcot. You see more walls straight ahead over there.
Yep, the former Mouse Gear is being reimagined as a new store. Same with Electric Umbrellas becoming a restaurant. We don't know what type. It looked like it was a quick service in the concepts that we saw 2 years ago now, a little over? No, a year ago. Just D23. But everything is subject to change right now.
Yes.
There's a good picture of the billboard or the play pavilion, what it'll look like in the future.
That does look like entering the internet in Wreck-It Ralph 2, right?
Yes. Which I think is exactly what they're aiming for. I mean, even to the point where they have Cinderella as Sleeping Beauty. Sleeping Beauty hanging out. Looks like Nick Wilde's ear is sticking out. You get a walk with Olaf. So I think this will be a fun area. I hope that it'll be as relaxing as the Wonders of Life Pavilion was. But we will see sometime in the not too distant future, hopefully.
Wonder if it'll be as educational, because I learned a lot in the Wonders of Life Pavilion.
I know your favorite movie was there.
I remember two things from Wonders of Life: the pedaling things and the little live show they had.
Oh, the
yeah,
I
that
can't
one.
think of the name of their players. It was a play on one of the words. But yeah, that was always a fun show. I loved the Wonders of Life Pavilion. That was always one of my favorite places just to go and hang out.
The anatomical players.
Thank you. So this wall here in front of Mission Space will be some type of entrance into the brand new restaurant, Space 220. And for those of you who don't recall what Space 220 is, it actually is going to be a restaurant circling the Earth, where you will enter, you'll sit down, there will be a huge screen that wraps around the dining area, and you can watch as the Earth rotates. And that's what that very large green building is.
Here, if you hang here for just for a second on that building, and I will share this. And believe it or not, inside that green building is this.
I know with the D23 panel or presentation that they showed us some new concept art of it. Or actually not concept, they showed actual art, actual photography in it, where two of the Imagineers are near a window, and you just see the Earth, the edge of the Earth coming into view, and it's just looked amazing. One of those places that I'm sure I'll be eating.
Hearing that whoosh every 10 seconds is
So test track is being test track. Looks like it's open and running. We do have a great extended view. The donut box and the pool wash have reopened in preparation for next week, I'm sure. Of course, again, one of the things that changes occur, the donut box before the shutdown was supposed to open as a burger box. But
what is the donut box?
It just sells donut holes and different flavor donuts. They're kind of playing off the craze of Disneyland, where they had the different donuts on Main Street, where it would be, oh, here's the Pirates donut or that type of stuff. But it was much more basic here. And it was open last year a little bit, then they closed, and it was being remodeled as a place where you get burgers to fill in the space that Electric Umbrella is missing, or we're missing because the Electric Umbrella is closed. But then when it reopened, it was just back to the donut box.
Tammy has joined us. Hi, Tammy. We did talk about the Park Hopper coming back in January 2021 at the beginning of this video. We'll probably talk about it again later as other people join us. You mentioned only 2 parks. I mean, we're looking at the announcement. I don't see anything that indicates that you'll only be able to visit the second park. It does mention, the additional parks are subject to capacity limitations. You don't need reservations, but nothing specifically saying you will only be able to hop once that I can see. So, but obviously, there are lots of details people are wondering about that I'm sure will become clear over the next 6 weeks.
And I am sure that, well, probably not on January 1st, but shortly thereafter, there will be, hey, let's see how many parks Jeremiah can visit and do live stream from in one day.
Well, that's a lot easier with the wonderful Skyliner.
Yes. And hopefully, cross fingers, the monorail will extend out to Epcot.
That is a good point. With the ability to hop from Magic Kingdom to Epcot, I wonder if the monorail will return.
So, wow. Are your eyes tearing up a little bit right now?
There should be 2 things in this shot that just make it so much better, but I'm not going to dwell on the negative. The Christmas tree has arrived at Epcot, the most beautiful of all the park Christmas trees, with its symbol of peace at the top, and I am very happy.
I do love this Christmas tree. It is one of my favorites. A few years ago, well, I guess more than a few years ago, but when I used to live in California and come out for vacation here, one of the trips, the center part of the tree, the lights weren't working. So you'd be over on the other side of World Showcase Lagoon, and you would see the lights at the bottom and the lights at the top, but there'd be this weird middle part that just didn't exist.
So the tree is here, but Christmas does not officially come to Epcot for another 7 days. So when it does, you'll have the Santa Claus Promenade. That's how you'll see Santa going around meeting everyone from a distance from World Showcase on his horse-drawn carriage. And you'll have the Jameters, you'll have Joyful coming back to celebration of the season with gospel and R&B. In the American Gardens Theater, we'll have the Voices of Liberty and Mariachi Pobre.
So we usually start in Mexico and go that way. We're going to flip this a little bit. When I was here the other day, the Jameters have already relocated to Canada.
Oh, really?
Well, their stage was set up. I can't say that they were definitely there performing because I did not see them, but it was all set for them.
It's a little bit sad. In past years, the tree would have a stage next to it because they do a nice lighting, but not this year. No Peace on Earth finale illumination.
Oh, that was my favorite.
Yeah. This is a nice
things. Yeah, as we're walking out here, one of the things that we learned during the D23 presentation was that as Harmonious will rule the evening as a new nighttime show, during the day, these barges, or at least one of these barges, will work as a fountain. So there will be, a bit of kinetic energy out here on the lagoon during the day.
It's gotta be nice. There's kinetic energy anyway. Look at the way the waves kind of slowly ripple. Beautiful.
Well, they put in a surf machine, but they had to turn it off because it was causing problems.
I think you're confusing this with another lagoon, Jeremiah.
So over there, that large crane is where they are constructing the Stargate for Harmonious, which we learned, I believe, is 6 stories tall.
Wow. That's crazy.
The information, I only caught bits and pieces of it, but it's 6 stories tall. It'll have the water feature where it comes down and it forms designs. And then there will be 4 other floats in the lagoon forming like a compass, and they will all have projections and take care of that. There is the fountain that's the way the World Showcase Lagoon will look during the day.
That's going to be really nice, actually. Really, really nice.
I'm really happy that they brought that back, because with the fountain of the nations gone, we don't have any real fountains. For some reason, have a calming effect on everybody. So here's an interesting thing. The festival market here has now turned into, good morning, the like soaps and hand lotions. It doesn't have any of the food and wine or taste of food and wine merchandise in it.
I could go back to Harmonious just for a second to give people some idea of the scope. This is one of the floating platforms that arrived at Epcot recently, and that thing is humongous. So, Harmonious is not small.
No.
And it has been confirmed that it is coming. So funny.
What, did you say there was more after it is coming, or
no, I said it's been confirmed that it's coming. It's not a canceled project.
Correct. 2021 is what they gave us as a date. So, we can't even guess on when in 2021, but it will return or it will come in 2021, and hopefully be the spectacle we all want it to be.
I'm looking forward to it. I love the illuminations, but I have high hopes for Harmonious. It kind of gives me that electrical parade light magic feeling, but I'm hoping for better results.
Yeah, the clip that they showed us at D23, I think, was that? Yeah, that was 2 years ago. Last year. What? Again, 2021 has been the longest 2 weeks ever, or 2020 is the longest 2 weeks. So, let's walk into Canada. The stuff that they showed was amazing and so beautiful. If it's even half of what they showed, I think it'll be a great show. So here we are at Victoria Gardens.
Canada is the most beautiful of the World Showcase pavilions.
Absolutely.
Much like the people of Canada, some of the most beautiful people in the world.
Martin Short.
Yeah, Martin Short.
As we were talking about the construction and the changes coming to Epcot, just before the shutdown, we had the replacement of the former O Canada film to Canada Far and Wide.
Stop right here. You are in one of my favorite spots in all of Disney World, this tiny little bridge. Okay, continue.
So if you haven't visited Epcot, even since the reopening or just prior to the reopening, there's definitely some changes between this, the Beauty and the Beast sing-along in France, and just a lot of construction walls.
That's true. I have not seen the new Canada film. I actually forgot about it last time we were at Epcot a couple of months ago. So apparently, Canada has some interference with our signal, so we're going to zoom through here.
Tell me when it gets better.
It's better.
See, it's amazing. We can go to outer space, but Canada causes problems.
I know. We were on a Galactic Empire ship with no problem. But Canada.
There you go, Doobie.
That's beautiful. I love that. I'll take that. The moss does nothing for me, though. I must admit.
Yeah, I don't remember if that was, well, I'm guessing it is part of the make-believe of the falls.
That's not what we're doing. That's not what we're doing. That's what we're doing.
Okay.
Sorry. My finger had a mind of its own. Nice view there. World Showcase Lagoon.
Yep, you still can't see the Stargate from here. And I only call it a Stargate. That is not the technical name of it, but it is. It looks like the Stargate from the film and TV show.
Looks like the building to your right has been trimmed with its Christmas decor. Week
It
ahead
is,
of
but
Christmas.
it is actually closed.
And I'm guessing they only decorated the outside.
Oh, looks like my my quick walk through Canada worked perfectly. Doobie, do you hear what I hear?
I'm guessing Le Janiteur has relocated.
So yes, the janitors have relocated to the mill stage, not the old mill stage.
Oh, thank you. Hey, wasn't that?
So they'll be there through the holidays. Do they have a holiday set? Jeremiah, do you know?
They change up their designs throughout the year. I can't remember if there's anything special about their Christmas set other than they have like their drumsticks look like candy canes type thing.
Money at 30 asked, is your camera straight? It seems a little off kilter. That's a clever guy. A little off kilter.
I mean, off kilter was great, but there were no lumberjacks.
It's interesting how both Canada and UK have they're so large with their landscaping, going beyond the facade, and then that kind of stops with all the other pavilions.
Well, UK, I want to say UK probably has the most stores of any of the World Showcase pavilions, but the only thing that is open is the Twinings T that carries down. I'm sorry?
Twinings?
Twinings.
I thought it was Twining.
Tomato.
Really? So all this shops, the poo shop and all that's all closed?
Yep.
So back here, since we're doing a construction tour today, would have been construction for the Mary Poppins attraction, but that has officially been scrapped or delayed indefinitely, right?
Correct. It's been removed from everything. I don't remember exactly what the wording was, but when they put the concept and then they opened the preview center area and it was part of the video and then they removed it one day all of a sudden.
You can go up there?
There is a gate right here, so I cannot walk past it.
No, don't.
This is where Mary Poppins has her tea. And of course, my exit walkway is being blocked by somebody, and it's just curiouser and curiouser who that is.
That's cute. Well done.
Thank you.
How's the weather today, Jeremiah?
It's on the warmer side, but it is not. We have a breeze. It's definitely not as hot as it has been in the past. But actually, for the past few days, we've been under 80, under 60. We've been under 80, so it's been beautiful.
Lovely.
But today is definitely a little bit warmer.
Please tell me the fish and chips are open.
They are open today.
Okay, what a relief.
So there we go.
There she is.
Oh, she is watering her flowers.
In Wonderland.
And there's Miss Alice.
Hey, I need to give a quick plug. For those of you who are interested in the other resort, Disneyland Resort, we did a long walk and talk from there yesterday as Buena Vista Street opened. So you can get a lot of views inside of Disney California Adventure. Just go to youtube.com/laughing place. And I think we did almost an hour and a half just exploring DCA for the first time in 8 months. So let's check it out.
I caught bits and pieces of it. It just makes me sad. I can't visit there.
And we got a pro tip here. The fish and chips place, you can purchase this tip. Not sure about just fish. Crossing over the English Channel that separates the UK from France. Looking at the best ride in all of Florida, the Skyliner.
So, Doobie, can you hear the announcement going on? It's make sure everything's covered announcement. But they've actually gone through where for the past 6 months, I would say, it was the same voice. And now they've changed it up so we have a few different voices. The voice that just talked to us was actually Mark Daniels, who many people recognize as the host of a lot of the Disney parks live streams.
Oh, wow. That's really interesting.
Yeah, and I think that's a good idea because, just like with everything, after you hear something so many times, it just becomes white noise. So,
what'd you say?
Yeah, thank you. So having that small change will bring attention to the announcement for those of us who are locals.
Absolutely. So we are now heading over into France, or as they say it, France, where there is some major construction going on as we continue our construction tour for the next major attraction coming to Walt Disney World. What's it called, Jeremiah?
Ratatouille.
Ratatouille, is it the Ratatouille Adventure?
It is Remy's Ratatouille Adventure.
And where is it? Where exactly is it located?
It is in a new section of France. This used to just be a wall and you couldn't go past it. And now it will lead into Remy's France, which isn't the past, it isn't the future, it isn't the present, but it's a stylized version of France as seen in the film Ratatouille. That was some of the stuff they said last night.
Oh, that was how they framed it?
Yeah, it's because the film isn't a specific look at current France or past France. It's just stylized. They went with that feel. So it's almost going to be its own mini land, as they called it. Then you go around the back, and they have a new crepe restaurant, a little park, and a fountain. And of course, the newest attraction coming next year, Remy's Ratatouille Adventure.
I'm sorry, what do they have in addition to the attraction? A fountain, what else did you say?
A fountain, a creperie, a small park, and I believe for the first time ever, restrooms.
Wow, that's actually huge. So just to give people a quick look, there you are, Jeremiah. I'm going to show just some quick artwork, or other photographs rather, from other angles. We've got, this is what it looks like from the Skyliner. You actually get a really nice Skyliner, a view of it from the Skyliner, obviously a little out of date since it's not opening summer 2020. But that's what it's going to look like. And then they recently installed this sign in there, kind of a milestone. So looking forward to that. Once things get a little more back to normal, that will be the first major addition to Walt Disney World, Remy's Ratatouille Adventure.
Yeah, and they actually did just install the sign for Remy's Ratatouille Adventure That was one of the highlights where they talk about its sculpture and everything that was done for the sign itself. And look, we have snowflakes.
Oh wow, that's pretty. Nice, France. Does it snow in France? Oh yes, of course it snows in France. Right. French Alps.
And then, of course, these are my favorite holiday displays. Little ornament views of different things that you would find in France.
Very nice. Tammy, just to address what you're saying about the park hopping, we're just looking at the official Disney Park blog, and they do mention that it starts at 2 p.m. till closing. It's just no place does it seem to say that's the only place, that you won't be able to park hop yet again. So, and maybe it's a good time to talk about it again, Jeremiah, as you leave France. What was the big announcement was that park hopping is returning on January 1st. So can you give us an overview of that again?
Yeah, January 1st, park hopping returns, and that is with any guests that have a park hop ticket, which I understand will be a different ticket at that time because the tickets that are being sold right now don't include the park hopping feature, of course. So that'll be something we'll have to also investigate in the future. What the price difference, if there is going to be any new increase or anything coming out of that. Or annual pass holders will be able to make a reservation. You have to have a reservation for at least you have to have a reservation for your first park, not at least your first park, but for your first park. And then you can enjoy the day, and then you can park up to any park that is available that is not at capacity. So, I mean, with what we've seen as the parks have been open, you'll definitely be able to park hop to Disney's Animal Kingdom or Epcot if you start in Magic Kingdom or Disney's Hollywood Studios. But going in the reverse may be a challenge because Disney's Hollywood Studios is often at capacity, and the Magic Kingdom usually is it is the other park that reaches capacity out of the four.
And they said it will typically start at 2 o'clock, but they do allow that it could be earlier or later depending on circumstances. Certainly no guarantee it can't be at capacity. And no word yet as to really nitty-gritty details like will you be able to hop back if there's an issue? Will monorail reopen as a result? Things like that.
But that is exciting news, especially for, you were just out here a month ago and you're used to park hopping because we've all done the park so many times. You hit your favorites and then you move on to another park and hit those, and then you can go back and relax at the pool later on.
Or most importantly, hit your favorites and then go to Epcot to eat, which is a big change.
Yes.
Not to be able to do that.
So we're walking through Morocco that, as we saw, I believe it was last week, they were conducting quite a few sales to kind of clear away the merchandise as Disney starts to take over the Morocco Pavilion.
Can you talk about that a little more for those not aware?
Yeah. I was going to show some of the sale things, but they actually look like they removed all the sale items or sale signs, so maybe the sale's not going up. Anyway, the Morocco Pavilion was the restaurants, and I believe everything was run by Marrakesh Restaurants, which is a small company that was in charge of the Marrakesh Restaurant, Tangerine Cafe, and of course that place, Spice Road's Table. But it doesn't sound like this was anything other than the Marrakesh restaurant or Marrakesh closing, and Disney is taking over the restaurants. And it seems like all of the booths and stalls, the original merchandise from Morocco had kind of made its way out. They had a sale on a lot of the merchandise to clear it out, and then Disney takes over responsibility for it. They may be moving in their own merchandise. That we don't know, but we do know that Disney will be taking over the restaurants. I believe the Spice Road table stops accepting reservations as of Christmas. And then going into the next year, we'll start to see the new restaurants and the new plan take effect.
So Tammy said, for the park hopping, why so late? My guess would be the time is related to how long they've observed they need to give people who have a reservation at that park to get in that day. What do you think?
I would think so. I think that 2 o'clock is a good time, especially since a park like Epcot doesn't even open until 11 o'clock. So it gives guests a few hours, and then they can hop. Plus, there is also, we may see a change to the availability going from pre-booked to maybe even a live feed. So you could click on and see, oh, well, Disney's Hollywood Studios was at capacity, but because a guest weren't able to get their reservation for Rise of the Resistance at 2, the park has started to clear out some, so it would open up for other guests to visit.
Right. And then we have a question from our friend Tammy. I don't think she's ever been to Disney World, so she's asking, does Epcot need 2 days to go through? It looks so big. What's your opinion on that? Is Epcot a 2-day park?
It really depends. I always plan 2 days. Well, I always plan actually 3 days for Epcot, because Future World can take a day to try to get through all the attractions. World Showcase, if you're just looking to stroll, you could do this in the evening. But if you're looking to experience everything and have the food and taste everything, yeah, you definitely want a day just for this side of the park. What about you, Doobie? What's your feelings on that?
So I think Epcot is most definitely a 2-day park, but I think the best way to do Epcot is you spend a day at Epcot for sure, but then plan to come here in the evening, maybe 1 or 2 other days with park hopping, so you can have a morning and afternoon at Animal Kingdom or something, and then you can come to Epcot for the evening entertainment, for dining, and for strolling. And in my opinion, that's the best way to experience Epcot.
Yeah, Epcot at night is, I think this is probably the most beautiful park at night, because you can walk into each of the pavilions and it's something brand new.
And not so much now, but when things were and someday will be back to normal and they have the cultural representatives in each of the World Showcase pavilions, then it's really nice to be able to spend some time there and talk to them. Love to hear the language, the accents, learn about their culture a little bit and what it's like. Everyone's really friendly. I love to talk to strangers, and that's a really, really nice way to learn about 11 different cultures. So, 10 if you're from America.
Yeah, I would definitely concur with that, all of that. But as you were mentioning earlier, now that we're on the other side of the World Showcase Lagoon, you can see here is Spaceship Earth. And then I'll pull my finger out because it just, unfortunately, this new technology now focuses on the things that are close instead of trying to zoom in and out. Off to the right, that large blue building, that's actually the show building for Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Rewind. So as you can tell, it is a very large building.
Very large.
Let's continue our stroll through the American Adventure, which the day after Thanksgiving, next Friday, the start of the holidays here at Epcot, Voices of Liberty will be back for the first time in 8.5 months performing on the American Gardens Theater. Also, I never realized it's called the American Gardens Theater by the Shore.
Wow. So, like I said, one of the reasons we do these live is so we can talk to you about what we're seeing or anything else. So, Tammy, we are happy to help you here. She says she's afraid to plan on not getting the reservation and come all the way to miss a park. So, obviously, right now with the park reservation system, and you can get them way, way out. definitely plan on getting your reservations before you come. Don't assume you'll be able to park hop, and then it just becomes a nice bonus if you can.
Yeah, I believe you can book reservations for as far out as January 2022 right now. And Tammy, if you're coming to the parks, or if you're coming to Walt Disney World, and you book a Walt Disney World resort hotel and a ticket, don't we have somebody that can help her do that?
We strongly recommend Mouse Fan Travel. Seriously, Tammy or anyone else, if you're planning a trip, especially right now with all the different rules and complications, mousefantravel.com, a sponsor of Laughing Place and someone we personally have used for years and years, can really help you figure out all the details, make sure you get everything done as well as you possibly can instead of trying to figure it out all your own. It does not cost a dime more than booking yourself. In fact, they do a great job of finding discounts that you may not otherwise be aware of. So could not recommend them enough. Mousefantravel.com.
Yes. Also, one of the things, Tammy, is when you book your hotel and your tickets, right now there are 3 tiers of availability for park guests or for booking your park pass reservation. There is the top, which is the hotel guests. So you have the #1 priority for all the parks. If you book a hotel and have your ticket, you can go on and book just about everything. I want to say that we have seen that Disney's Hollywood Studios is open for hotel guests more often than not. And then the secondary level is people who just have tickets to the park. So if you were to book a ticket and plan to stay off property, or you're just a local, you're the next people in line. And then annual pass holders are the 3rd tier. So after all guests have booked that are paying, so to speak, for those specific days, we then have the availability to book the parks for those days.
And Tammy apparently is staying at the Art of Animation Car Suite. So Tammy, you're not going to have a lot of trouble getting your park reservations. You're going to have a great time.
Yep.
You really are.
And Tammy, if you already have your reservation booked, you should be able to go right on and book your park pass at this time for whenever you plan to visit.
We're now at the Smokehouse, the Regal Eagle Smokehouse, no relation to Three's Company.
Yeah, this is one of the things that they talked about on the Epcot presentation yesterday also. And again, this opened just before everything shut down. So it is still, to me, probably one of the best hidden gems of Walt Disney World. Has amazing food, great theming. It's got an underscore theming of Muppets. The Regal Eagle is, of course, Sam Eagle. And he is hosting a salute to all cookout, but mostly barbecue, I think is the term that they use.
Did the Regal Eagle always have this much outdoor seating?
Yes. This patio was built specifically for the beautiful weather here in Florida to give more space.
So Tammy is coming in November 2021. So that far out, I'm sure you can book whatever park passes you want since you have a hotel reservation and presumably tickets. And we're crossing our fingers. With any luck, 1 year from now, all of this will be a memory.
Yep. And then we can all go party with Tammy and hear her amazing Australian accent.
That's right. That is right.
So this space right here, this wall's been up for a few weeks, and we've all been wondering what it was. I saw through a different site that went in and found the plans, everything that has to be filed. But this is going to be a gelato area. They're going to install a little restaurant to have gelato.
And this is a part of Italy?
Italy. So I'm guessing the donkey cart in the back that has the gelato will probably just move up to the front, which is funny because the donkey cart used to start over on that side and then it moved into the back and then it'll move back up to the front.
And Italy has all its Christmas decor up too.
Nope.
Italy doesn't have landscaping of France or UK, but the architecture of Italy is incredible. It's amazing to look at pictures of Italy and look at this and just see how similar they look. They've captured it so well.
I love Italy. This pavilion, even though there isn't any main attractions other than pizza, which is a big enough attraction for me. You know, I just like you can remember when this was the extent of Italy. It was right here at the fountain and right across, and then they expanded with Via Nopolini and the pizzeria window, and of course the wine cellar.
Jeremiah, popcorn or churro? Via Napoli or Alfredo's?
I never actually. Well, I think I ate at Alfredo's once, so I'm not in that category that can answer an educated answer.
Okay, you're forgiven then. Alfredo's had the best fettuccine Alfredo, appropriately, that you will ever have. I miss it very, very, very much.
That was one of the things that I always remember hearing about. In the days when I would come here in the early times when it was still there, eating at a restaurant was my bottom most priority. I think the only thing that was the next step up from eating at a restaurant for me was just eating. I can remember coming and at the end of the day just being starving when I'd be at Pleasure Island at 2 o'clock in the morning and their hot dog cart would be the only thing that was open.
Happily, my first trip to Disney World, I was an adult and I did it properly.
The smell here is amazing.
What do you smell?
Italian food.
Oh.
It smells like pizza crust to me.
Via Napoli is excellent, excellent pizza. I prefer a deep dish pizza. Theirs is very thin, but for what it is great, great pizza.
And it's fun to go back and just order a pizza back there and sit and relax in the restaurant with those amazing wood ovens with the giant mouths that kind of feel like they're going to eat you.
Greetings, Queen Rebecca V. Thank you for joining us on our tour of Epcot construction.
Well, we do have some trains running. If we time it properly.
Do they have their Christmas decor yet?
They do not. They still are celebrating the taste of food and wine here.
I hope they do. That's one of the great little details of Epcot is the way they decorate the German train village for Christmas. But Christmas has not officially started at Epcot, not till November 27th. So this is every Christmas decoration you see is just a little preview.
And we will be here live on the start, the day after Thanksgiving. That's because that's how crazy I am.
Well, one thing you know, it won't be crowded.
So when I was here 2 days ago, the annual Pass pop-up store was closed, and it looks like it is still closed, as they were doing a cast member special store. But it actually looks like, as a whole, the annual Pass pop-up store is closed right now.
Is the teddy bear store open?
No, that was actually the back part of the pop-up store.
Where do we buy our teddy bears now? Oompa's open though, right?
Oompa?
Yeah.
Your grandpa?
Oktoberfest, the restaurant.
Oh. The beer garden?
Yes, is it open?
Yes. And they are doing family style.
And this place is really decorated for Christmas. Especially a trip to the North Pole is interfering with our signal.
There we go.
Better.
Hey, Lily, get your hands off her.
Are you touring Epcot on your own today, Jeremiah?
I am. Epcot on my own. Well, no, Doobie. I'm touring it with you.
Right now, he is just passing Germany, so feel free to say hi. Get him on his walk. He's a friendly guy.
The little entertainment venue is decorated for Christmas, so I wonder if we'll get something there, or if it's just, as with some of the other stuff, just decorated for the holiday. Now, I know I haven't made it over to the most popular attraction in all of Walt Disney World, but so far the park has seemed not that busy, which has been very nice.
It is very pleasant. It does not look busy. The fact that you can't, there's no stroll and drink going on at all right now, right?
Correct. If you are eating or drinking, you must remain stationary, and that way you can take your mask off.
So that's not what I was referring to. Is there any festival going on with the kiosks and such?
Oh, yes, the Taste of Food and Wine is still active.
It is. Then yeah, it is very quiet.
Yeah, I believe it ends this weekend. And I apologize for not having that information off the top of my head, but at this point, with the festivals kind of flowing in from to one another, even in the current times, the booths just changed their signage.
So we are on a construction tour today. That's what we're doing so far. We have seen the new entrance, Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Rewind. We got to look at Remy's Ratatouille Adventure and Cosmic Rewind. Thank you. I keep saying Mission. Thank you, Gideon, for correcting me. Cosmic Rewind. And we are now headed over to see what we can see of Harmonious construction.
You can't really see much. They do an excellent job with the foliage. I will walk into China and kind of see what we can see through the bushes, and this is all public view. We're not going to any backstage area.
Most definitely not.
Here's the Alps booth, which, Doobie, while you were here, was this booth open now?
I do not recall the Alps at all now.
So this booth was one of the most popular booths. Has some amazing cheese, because of course it's the Alps.
Did you say cheese?
Cheese.
I would have remembered this.
But since the Taste of Food and Wine Festival opened, the Alps booth wasn't part of the first round of open booth, and then we heard that was a plan to add when the capacity increased. But the booth has been open randomly, weekdays on and weekdays off. So here's the beautiful fountain. I'm sorry, waterfall. And you can't really see through the trees, but you can almost see one of the barges that'll be part of Harmonious back there. And it is very massive.
So we did visit this area when I was last here. So for those of you visiting Epcot, if you go back to this area of China, you can get a much better view with your real eyes than you can with the camera of some of the Harmonious barges and construction going on back there.
Yeah, it's just along this walkway. They actually have trimmed back some of the trees, I'm noticing. But also, just come and walk through the pavilions. Like, there's so many beautiful things to see here at Epcot. And this, Tammy, when you're here, make sure you just take some time to stroll.
Yeah, every single pavilion, there is not one that's a disappointment to walk through. Just take your time, walk into each building. They all have their own unique, like the landscaping of UK and France and Canada, or Morocco with its really different architecture. Japan with its amazing shop. The shops in Japan are open, right, Jeremiah?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. So, and then of course the food everywhere. So take your time in Epcot. Do not rush through just looking for the rides, or you will miss what makes Epcot special.
Here's something that reopened recently, but it was only open during the weekends, I believe was the last time I heard. The Lotus Blossom Cafe, which is always my go-to for food, just some of the best food. Uh, I always get the orange chicken combo. Very, very tasty.
I am a vegetarian, but I do love the Lotus Blossom Cafe for their iced tea.
Yes. And that's another one of the things, if you're coming to Epcot, don't just go to the Regal Eagle. I mean, you should still go to the Regal Eagle because the food is amazing. But make a point in visiting other pavilions and trying foods from around the world.
Hello, Amuka. Thank you for joining us. We are live. If you have any questions for Jeremiah or about Epcot or anything related to Disney, honestly, we are happy to answer. Just Tanya. Money at 30, love Lotus Blossom for the fruit stickers and a side of white rice.
See, I go with the chicken fried rice every time. So here's the line for Frozen, and this is actually probably the shortest I've seen it, and that is probably in direct relation with the addition of the plexiglass on the boats to be able to load the boats at full capacity now.
So what Jeremiah is referring to is some of the rides at Disney World, including Rise of Resistance, Runaway Railway, Frozen Ever After, have added additional plexiglass on the actual ride vehicles, allowing them to load more people on each vehicle while maintaining social distancing. And that's one of the reasons they've been able to increase the capacity at all the parks from 25% to 35%.
Yeah, it's really nice. I know that some people, I've seen different people have concerns about the plexiglass and the glare and everything. And really, I've ridden both Frozen Rise of Resistance and Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. And the plexiglass, it's just there. It may be something that when you look at it, it seems a little awkward, but it's no different than anything else.
Not going to bite you. Very friendly.
Yeah, don't pet it though. I mean, if you pet it, that's what'll cause problems because there'll be fingerprints all over it.
So Tammy is realizing she's going to need a new camera and a lot of space. Yeah, you can take so many pictures. That's part of the fun. And then we have all our old Disney World pictures just on our phone. I don't know what it's called, but the Chrome thing that connects to your TV. So that just becomes our life screensaver, is our Disney memory.
See, out of everything I'll be missing for the holiday time, it'll be the story of the barn gnome that they always tell right here.
Aww.
That's one of the few stories that I make a point of seeing every year, just because it's usually one of the most funny things that you'll see.
Definitely will miss that this year, the way each of the pavilions had a traditional Christmas tale told live a few times a day. Well, hopefully next year we'll go back to normal.
Yeah, we just have to remember, everything is just for now.
Exiting Norway and entering Mexico.
I think on my next visit here, I will venture inside the pyramid to see if there's been any change to the Tres Caballeros.
This is the trickiest pavilion during this time because it's completely indoors. So they actually have to queue you up to get inside to maintain capacity restrictions inside. And once you're in there, there's a restaurant, a tequila bar, lots of shopping, an attraction. It's by its nature, it's meant to feel very crowded by design, and obviously that just doesn't fly right now. So.
Yeah. But don't forget, if you need a margarita, Tammy, here's where you go.
She's asking, are they doing DAS? I'm not sure what DAS is. Do you know, Jeremiah?
DAS is the disability.
Gotcha. She has autistic children, so yes.
Yes. For any of those questions, always visit the guest relations when you enter the park. They will be able to give you much more information and much more precise information than we would.
Wow. We just got an email from someone reminding us that Toy Story turns 25 on Sunday.
Are you going to do your review of the Toy Story musical for that day?
I wasn't. I just wanted to cry because I'm old. That is right when I became a Disney fan. That was the first movie I saw as a bona fide Disney fan, was Toy Story.
And we actually, if you go back to last week to our Dig a Little Deeper, not only do we talk about Toy Story Mania, but we talked about Toy Story and the way it came into the parks, starting at the El Capitan with the Toy Story Funhouse and how that transferred into Tomorrowland.
Exactly, we sure did. Dig a little deeper from a couple weeks ago, or last week. We normally do that Sundays at 4. We're not going to be doing it this week. We're not sure if we're going to do a different kind of show or if we're just going to not have one this week. But scheduling got in the way, so stay tuned. As always, subscribe, like our stream, ring the bell, know when we go live. Thank you very much, Terry, for doing my work for me. I should have known that. We have come full circle back to the most beautiful Christmas tree in all of Walt Disney World.
But wait, we still have a whole half a future world to visit.
Let's do it. Construction continues.
And Tammy, let us tell you what will probably be your highlight of coming next November, if it's later in the month. Journey into Imagination, Figment wearing a sweater.
Maybe that was just step one. Maybe they'll go all out for Christmas next year. Maybe they'll bring.
I'm wondering if there is going to be more additions as we get closer, because the Living with the Land, Merry and Bright Lights doesn't start until that day. So who knows what other surprise and delight things
Jeremiah,
just pop up. Yes.
Here is the boldest prediction you will hear today. Coming. This is a prediction. This is not a fact. This is my bold prediction. Coming to Journey into Imagination, Santa Dreamfinder.
I would not be sad on that fact. Did you get a chance to watch any of the D23 presentation yesterday, Doobie?
I did not. I'm sorry.
So the two Imagineers that were, I don't remember their titles, but I know one was in charge of pretty much this entire expansion. Both of the two people that were in charge of it that they were bringing up talked about Dreamfinder and Figment and how much they love them, to the point where one of the gentlemen came on and he was talking about when he came into the modeling department with all the 3D modeling and scanning, they asked what the most difficult thing was, and of course it was Spaceship Earth. So they actually made him a 3-dimensional Spaceship Earth, and he showed it, and on the front he had a Dreamfinder and Figment vinylmation. So when people like that love Dreamfinder enough to mention them and to have a little statuette that they show, who knows what could be in the future.
That's a good friend. Dreamfinder has always been a favorite within the Imagineering ranks. You just passed an area. I believe they had a food and wine sign or something there, but I'm looking forward to next week when they replace that with a bunch of beautiful doves that light up at night. That's going to be gorgeous.
Yes. So here comes one of the benefits of being tall. I could just lift up my hand all the way with Ward in it, and we can look at the construction going on. And from here, it looks like it's just the top of the walls anyway. So
Yes.
being tall does have a benefit.
Don't do anything unnatural there. How tall are you, Jeremiah? People probably wonder, seeing you all the time, but not seeing you, how tall you are.
I am 6'1". I wear a size 12 shoe. My head is irregularly large because I cannot wear any hats.
And you improperly pronounce Ratatouille. But other than that, you're completely normal.
So, hang on. I was going to bring this up earlier. if you, and you should, go watch the Epcot presentation. Tom Fitzgerald also pronounces Ratatouille.
All right, you're in good company.
Yeah. Hey, if you can dream it, you can do it.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. There's a water rise over there.
The backwards waterfall, or the
Yes,
jumping fountains.
water rise, as I called it.
So here we pan around. There
In
we
case
go.
you missed it, over there on the left is Figment, the ride. What's it called now? Imagination? Journey into Imagination.
Journey into
And
Imagination with Figment.
with Figment. And they recently added a Christmas sweater on Figment. Just a total surprise. You ride it one day, and Figment's got a very cute Epcot Imagination Pavilion Christmas sweater. So a nice little treat from Disney, making all the fans go, whee!
If it was a nice little treat from Disney, they would have had the merchandise out there for us all to spend an insane amount of money on a sweater in Florida where it is currently 83 degrees.
And you would have bought one.
I would have gotten right off that attraction and purchased it. And it would have been much like all the other sweaters that I bought in the past 8 years. I wear them for 3 days out of each year. But let's walk down to the shop and see if there is anything new in there.
Who knows? Maybe there's a sweater.
Sweater and some Christmas
panels?
PJs.
Is that solar panels or just glass?
It's just glass. Up in that area is where they used to have the ImageWorks play area. It is currently the DVC Lounge, the Disney Vacation Lounge. So if you are a Disney Vacation member, you can visit up into that area, have a relaxing seat, and just be calm for a little while. Namaste.
Are you a DVC member?
I am not.
You call yourself a Disney fan.
Oh, we should go deep into the why I never became a Disney Vacation Club member. But the
No
number,
spoilers. We don't say a word about it. But did you see this week's Mandalorian?
yes.
Were you pleased with it?
I'm sorry?
Did you like it?
Oh, yes, very much. I woke up this morning at 4 o'clock and watched it.
Every week I keep saying, hey, that may be my new favorite episode.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we could talk about last week and do spoilers now, but I feel like if we do a certain spoiler, it could spoil episodes of the future.
I would play it safe and not say a word.
But the other important thing today, did you watch Animaniacs?
I am not a fan.
Well, Animaniacs.
Go ahead.
Animaniacs are now on Hulu, and
New
it is a
episode.
new version. Yep.
I did see the first episode. It's quite hilarious. Animaniacs crack me up. I just don't care to laugh. I'm a very serious person.
I don't believe that. So now we're getting into the land area.
Someone is asking for some classic Jeremiah speculation. Will they remove Figment for an inside-out attraction eventually?
I don't think so. I think at one point it could have been something, but especially now, just from watching, Disney pays attention to social media. Disney, had the Disney Park Plug just started on TikTok. I don't understand that. But yeah, there was a tweet out earlier, a link to a TikTok video, I think, of an Imagineer and Ratatouille. But anyway, I think that Figment has shown that the popularity is there.
So for those of you who don't know the history of our site, laughingplace.com was literally the very first website to be credentialed by Disney, just like any other media. So the fact that they're now on TikTok It shows how far things have come in the past 20 years or so.
Let's walk into the land. We'll take a look down into the lower area and then head out because I think that the reception in here isn't the best.
Tony says he would appreciate talking to you about this Anna whatever thingy that you guys were discussing, which, if I'm not mistaken, is produced by Pixar, right?
No, Steven Spielberg.
Oh, okay. My bad. Thanks for the correction.
Yeah, the only the only reason that we are talking about the Animaniacs, aka the Warner Brothers and the Warner sister Dot, that is owned by the Warner Brothers and produced by Steven Spielberg and Warner Brothers, is because it is on Hulu.
Ah, my mistake. I thought since Tony was excited about it, it must have been a Pixar production.
Or a Universal.
We're now inside the Land Pavilion, home of another newer attraction, which I have not seen. What is the name of the replacement for the Timon and Pumbaa?
Oh, I was like, where are you going to this? Awesome Planet.
Awesome Planet. And then down below, we have Living with the Land and the amazing Soarin', which now features Soarin' Around the World.
Yes. And then, of course, we have the Garden Grill,
which
directly
is character dining. We ate there on our last trip. Characters at a distance, but still was an amazing experience. I can't recommend a Garden Grill enough for a yummy character dining, unique atmosphere experience. Awesome.
Yeah, I've had the chance to eat at the Garden Grill twice since it reopened, and I always love the Garden Grill just because the food is so amazing. And, you know, everything is grown right here in the land, from the chicken to the vegetables and the steaks. So, it's fresh from right below you. And now we're heading out looking, oh, wow. So you can kind of see, again, things for the next version of StreamYard, I would like Zoom, not the Zoom platform, but the ability to Zoom, because you can actually see some of the construction now going on inside the center of Epcot.
Tammy, currently at Epcot is Soarin' Around the World, right, Jeremiah?
Correct.
Yes. Once they switched to Soarin' Around the World, they've not gone back to California in Epcot, right?
Yeah, and that was one of the things, in California, Soarin' Over California is the retro. Everybody wants it. Everybody remembers it from their childhood, so it's what everybody wants to see. Here, it never made sense because we're in Florida, and it had you flying over California, which one of the things that I have learned in my time here in Florida is a lot of people don't go to California, but a lot of Californians go to Florida. So for them, it was like, okay, the Golden Gate. Yeah, I remember hearing about that construction.
So Pammy asked a great question. We'll talk. Which do you prefer, California or Florida? So California or the rural?
I think we've gone over my feelings on Soarin' in general is an okay attraction, not anything amazing.
I'll answer. Soarin' Over California / Around the World is one of the best Disney attractions ever. A family, gentle, somewhat exhilarating attraction. I prefer the original because I feel the new one relies too much on CGI. The visuals are spectacular, but then you realize there's CGI visuals, and that just detracts a little bit, whereas the original is predominantly actually done. And so therefore I prefer it a little bit, but either one is amazing. Yes, Benji, because Soarin' Over California is now just under 20 years old. So you are old as am I.
Well, no, I mean, if you think about it, they were doing previews in December, maybe even November.
Yeah.
Because I remember going to...
No, they weren't. I remember the very first preview for anyone that didn't work in Imagineering was January 6th. Because I went to the first preview, January 6th. I remember it like it was yesterday. Steps in time in its original version.
I will need to look at I'm not arguing that the first annual pass or public was.
It was a cast preview that we got into. I think the Imagineering preview was like the day before. And then you'll prove me wrong, I'm sure, Jeremiah, but that's what I remember.
No, I know that I have pictures from one of my first previews, and I know that they had pins out for previews with the different dates. But the early days, and that was one of the fun things about California Adventure when it opened, was by the time it opened, I think we'd all been in the park at least 6 times.
And a good thing, too, because they cut off annual pass sales.
Yeah, for a whole whopping 2 weeks.
Words rarely said by Benji. Doobie is right. Back to square one.
Oh, wait, we completely forgot about, we're walking by this giant wall here.
Yeah.
And this is another project that hadn't been talked about, the Moana Pavilion, the water pavilion.
So that is still going forward?
I don't know. The construction, there hasn't been any major construction on it that we've seen or heard. And there also hasn't been any talk one way or another about it. So.
Completely off topic, Jeremiah.
Yes.
Have you seen the new McDonald's toys?
Yes, I currently have. Hang on. If I can't walk up there, unfortunately, because their cast members stopping guests from walking up that way, and you should always listen to the cast members. But they are doing construction on the former area, and they have a lighting scaffold up with some of the new lights. So I don't know what exactly that will be for, but they're testing the lights. So either they're using those lights for night construction, or they're going to test something back that way for the holidays. Stay tuned next week and find out.
Benji, is Moana still in the Epcot experience?
She was last time I was in there. We did not go in there today to check it out. Instead, we went and saw the Christmas tree. So we're walking a pin trading experience.
This is the pin trading now?
Yes. Where right now, all 2020 merchandise is 70% off. And that is before your discount. So you also get the applied discount for annual pass, DVC, cast member. Here's some of the fun pins.
In that case, this would be a good time to buy my airplane. Those are cool.
It is. So that's the gingerbread collection pins. And they have ornaments. Riviera has an ornament pin. There is a Princess and the Frog. And of course, a Remy.
I feel like you should just do a weekly pin show, Jeremiah.
If I had the money, I would do it in a heartbeat. Because I have now given in and purchased this one and this one.
Apparently, even when you don't have the money.
That one is an amazing little ornament. It's, what's his name from Princess and the Frog?
Louis?
Nope.
No, not Louis. Oh, what's his name? Tony wants to know, is that the old Epcot logo on a 2020 ornament?
Yes. Yes, it is.
His name is Ray.
Yes. That's why the E+R is on there, because of his girlfriend, who is one of the stars now.
Tony says, as of a week ago, Moana was still in the Epcot experience.
We come full circle.
Awesome. Wow. Thank you, Jeremiah. This was a great tour. For those that missed it, we just did a construction tour of Epcot, looking at the new entrance, the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind, Harmonious, Remy's Ratatouille Adventure, other little things we could see along the way. We also saw some new merchandise, and just all the beautiful sights of Epcot. So if you missed it, just rewind all the way to the beginning and enjoy it now, or come back later and watch it at your leisure. I believe this is our only live broadcast for today, but we do have some coming up this weekend. Mike Celestino is going to be at Knott's Berry Farm tomorrow. Of course, it's at 1 o'clock Pacific time. As always, at 7:30 p.m. on Saturday, we have Disney Trivia Live. And then may or may not have something on Sunday at 4 p.m. Pacific. Unsure yet. We're not going to have our normal Dig a Little Deeper, but we may be replacing it with something else we're trying out. So just make sure you subscribe to us whenever you're watching us. Ring the bell so you always know when we go live. And please give us a thumbs up. That helps us a lot, too, to let the various platforms know that you are a fan and people should be watching us. So thank you for your participation. Thank everyone that bothered to comment, ask a question. And thank you, most of all, to the one and only Jeremiah for taking us around
I enjoy it.
Epcot. We will see you next time. Bye-bye, everybody.